Good day and welcome back to Elementary 72 Gaming. Before I get into the video, I'd like to ask you all to please leave a like or comment on my video and consider subscribing to my channel. So here is something that I'm just going to do before I even start. I'm going to look at what I could possibly get from this box, then I'm going to open it. Now, as you can see, the best that you can get from these are the named weapons. And as you can see, MK5, MK7 named, MK5, MK7 named, and it goes on through all the items. Then you get all of the skins that you could possibly receive, and as you can see, most of them have the warning that they aren't permanent. So let's see, Cyclone Grimace, 30-day skin, it didn't show it. Let's see if there's any others here. Seven-day skin. Yeah, so it only gives you temporary skins. Now let's just open these two boxes quickly and then let's talk about what's inside the box. Okay, let's see exactly what I get. MK5 sensor dampener and what is the second? MK7 disruptor. Now considering what I just got, that wasn't really such a bad loot drop. And as you can see, I have quite a few things sitting inside my vault. Now let's look at its exact value on the market at the moment and think about where it was a few days ago. Now, considering that these items are dropping and their value has dropped so drastically, you can see that they are under a million in value at the moment, and you can equip them up on just about any ship if I am correct. Let's open it up and read through everything carefully. Disrupts the range of tracking speed of the turret of the opponent ship using more than one type of this module. Okay, it will have penalty results. Then there was the sensor dampener. Reduces your scan resolution. Okay, and you can see reduces everything from your ship. Now consider using these items very sparingly. There aren't really all that many in the game, and they're going to be really difficult to counter when it comes to the next stage of actual gameplay. They're really powerful items, and they do have a lot of aspects to them that makes them really powerful. Now, I know that I have been strongly against a lot of them, but these are very good for PvP. When you're thinking about using it in PvE, maybe you're thinking of using it when jumping into a dead space. Remember, you're also going to get hit with the same things in a few days' time. So, not really going to pan out well for you because you're going to be using EVO, they're going to be using EVO. You're better off going with your original setups and using better setups. But these may help you with elite ships in missions or even inside dead spaces as well. Now, here's exactly what they could do for you. You got a ship like a Cinnabal, you activate your sensor dampener, you activate your tracking disruptor. Now, the Cinnabal has a harder time locking onto you and hitting you, although, if I am correct, the tracking disruptor doesn't work on the Cinnabal. But depending on each ship and what types of weapons are there, you're going to see different effects. And it works on different ships, it doesn't work on other ships. It's going to work that way because some of them are very weapon specific to what they can do. And once you've applied these effects, you're actually going to get more in terms of actual play out of them because they aren't just a small little once off thing for you to use. Now, let's think about running these in a longer run than just right now. Okay, wait, let's just do something on the market quickly and have a look at what other boxes I could have gotten. Now, I took on a Crimson Cemetery and a Haunted Ruins, and I just picked up these two boxes. Now, considering the loot that came out of it wasn't all that great, let's see, where is it? Right at the bottom. Special items. Here we can see them. Right, so this was the first one, Common Haunted Ruins, exactly what I had. Let's look at what's the difference between the common and the rare. Only in terms of gear, not the blueprint, not the blueprint, what am I saying? Not the skins, because the skins in here, you get permanent skins which are worth way more. And as I'm looking at it, I'm going down. Everything still looks similar, but I'm noticing small differences. there's more than one chance from this box. And with everything being here from the top few, the chance of you getting one of them increases drastically. And the fact that there's even more skins in here means you're more likely to pull out a skin at this level of box. Now let's look at the biggest one that we have here, the Precious Haunted Supply Box. Now these aren't so simple to get your hands on. Oh, sorry. They come out from the highest level of haunted events, and look exactly at the drops. They all named gear. Now this here tells you that this is super elite and everything in here is permanent, but it's a far smaller pool of loot. Now since the loot pool is so small and you have so many different options, when you open this box, you're definitely going to get a lot of value out of it. At minimum, you're going to pull out one or two of these uh, skins. The skins are worth between 300 and 200 million ISK. Wait, sorry, no, my mistake. They worth 40 to 80. They're worth 40 million all the way up to 200 million ISK, depending on the rarity and the type of skin that you get. Now, they could be even more expensive in a few weeks' time when this event is over, or they could drop in value drastically because it's saturated through the game. That all depends on what is going on with the player base and whether or not people sell it, or if they're going to stockpile them up for next year to give you an option for a third option in the next event, because they most likely will introduce newer ones. Now, I know that this isn't the simplest things to explain, but overall, using the supply boxes to try and make some quick ISK is no longer such a good idea. Let me show you exactly why. One moment. This is in the best place. I can go straight into the mid slot and show you the interdiction weapons right now. Now, the interdiction weapons were the most expensive for the start of this event, but right now they're not so expensive anymore. MK7 was over 300 million. Sorry. And right now, as you look at the price, it is around 50 million. So dropping in price rapidly. The bubblegum interdiction sphere launcher, it's still quite expensive, but nowhere near its former value. Devourer interdiction sphere, this is the bigger, more expensive one. I'm expecting it to be almost $1 billion. Nobody has picked up one, or nobody has sold one. Let's have a look at the warp disruption. Nothing. Surprised on that. So as you can see, only one of this can be fit on a ship. And if I am correct, these are also locked to interdiction ships. Warp disruption, field generation. I'm not exactly sure about that. Don't quote me on anything that I'm saying because I am not 100% sure. Let's see. Power requirement 1 megawatt. Fuel consumption. Okay, right. Yeah, it's the same as the other. So it requires quite a bit of fuel in order to use them. And when you're operating it, this one here has the bigger advantage because you can't micro warp drive away from it. I don't know about how many people have seen the complaints and the suggestions and the bug reports, but there are a lot of bugs in the game at the moment. So just be very careful with your items. Make sure that you test out your ship before you take it on a long trip for ratting. Afterburners haven't been working properly. I personally noticed that my MK7 afterburner gives me its full boost while my smuggler afterburner only gives me 16% boost. It takes me from 400 meters per second to just under 500. So it is really small. The boost isn't going at its full rate. Be very careful about it. It is causing problems, and players may get caught in fights against normal enemies where you can't evade the fire or you take too much damage way too quickly. That's because they aren't working correctly. So make sure if you do see that problem, swap out your gear or park your ship away and report it to the devs. Hopefully they'll patch it up by Wednesday when the patch comes out. Okay, moving on. Let's look at the interdiction ships right now, because right now the only ones we can fly are the destroyers. And in a few days' time, the interdiction class is going to be opening up the next level with cruisers. Now, interdiction cruisers will be way tougher than the current interdiction ships. Let's see. Quite a nice big cargo hold. And there you go. Nice, easy, perfect to use. And these are the ships that you are currently looking at. And let's look at it on the market. Price of the Comment, 29 million, very cheap ship to have. Thresher Interdictor, let's see, 45 million, not too bad as well. Let's have a look going down. Corsair Interdictor, also a really cheap one. And last, the Catalyst, also very cheap. So the Thrasher is the most expensive from all the interdictors, and once you have it, you can actually go and build around them to make nice fleets. Now, starting in a few weeks, the cruisers will launch, and that's going to change everything for these gate camps. Now, the interdictors within the heavy class over here are actually going to be really, really hard to fight against. They T8, and I would actually look at grabbing a hold of the Blackbird. Now, here is something for you to note about it immediately. It is way more powerful than the previous class of interdictor. And where is the interdictor license on it? Oh no, this one uses warp disruptor fields. So warp disruptor fields are locked to this ship, and the interdictor spheres are locked to the lower class ship. Okay, so it makes some sense there. Here's why it is so much more efficient. 9,926 overall defense as its base stat. Now, with the other ones having just around 5 to 6,000 health, if they had to face off against my Cyclone with its full tanking ability and everything kicking in, I must probably launch off 2 shots on that ship. And if I web it, it's going to take the full impact at around 3,000 DPS per hit. So that's 3,000, 3,000, that's 6,000. And if I was running a different set of missiles higher up, that will most probably equal out to something near 3,500, maybe even 4,000 DPS total. And that is how heavy it can get hit. And a lot of players don't realize that you target the interdictor first, especially when you jump through in teams. Hit the interdictor, destroy the interdictor, you ruin that team's opportunity to keep camping. And the more ships that come through from your alliance, the more of them you're going to pick off, until eventually it's just going to be a handful of them filled with loot sitting on the gate, and you just hit them and break through. So that's going to be about it for this video. I hope that you've all enjoyed it, and I know this wasn't the most contentful video. I do have things planned, but yesterday was a really, really bad day in terms of no power. I didn't manage to play much of the game, so today I have to play and catch up with all of the stuff that I need. And once I am done with gathering what I need together for today, I will definitely make another video. So sorry about the short format of the videos, and thank you all. Have a good day.